name's Carissa. I run a nursing study Instagram called Our Inside Scope, and I'm also in my second year of the Ryerson Nursing Collaborative Program. So let me know if you have any questions about Ryerson nursing, or nursing in general. I'd love to hear all your questions today. So I'm enrolled at the George Brown Waterfront campus, and not to be biased, it's my favorite campus because it looks right by the waterfront, but the whole program's the same, and I'm going to main site in third year. I don't know too much about the new curriculum since I'm the last year for the old curriculum, but I do know that you guys have less courses. Like first year had 7 courses per semester, but you guys will have 5, and it's a debate if it's easier or harder, to be honest. Most of my classes are at the waterfront site, but I've been to the Ryerson campus a bunch, and honestly the walk between buildings isn't bad at all. And if you ever get lost, it's in the heart of the city, so Google Maps knows everything, and it's a really enjoyable walk. I'll list some of my reasons here, but at the end of the day, every nursing degree is the same from every school, so really know what you want, what kind of working environment you want, where you want to work in the future, and choose based on that, not based on the school. The average depends on which site you're applying to. Ryerson site will be slightly higher than the other sites, but I think a good rule of thumb is getting over 86. So if you get from 86 to around 93, you should be okay. I'm personally not a fan of math. I only took data management because you only need 1 math, but to be honest, you only need the skills you'll learn in data management to go into nursing, so I highly recommend you not killing yourself over math. I'll be getting the same exact degree. A good rule of thumb is any collaborative program where you first go to the college and then the university. If it's a bachelor's in science and nursing, it's the same exact degree. So I'll be going to Ryerson in third year and getting a bachelor's. There's no disadvantage of the collaborative program. We take the same courses, we take the same tests. If anything, I like the collaborative program better because it's a little bit more hands-on and the profs usually care a little bit more about you, but there's no difference. I think it's a great idea because for medical school, you can have any undergraduate degree as long as you pass your MCATs, and it's a great way to really know if you do want to go into medical school. Since you will have a bachelor's in nursing, you can see if you want to be a nurse or something else first. For the Ryerson nursing program, there are 3 sites: the Ryerson main site, the Centennial site, and the George Brown waterfront site. There's no differences because you take the same classes and you learn the same content, but it just allows more students to be in the program. So for Ryerson nursing, my application process was just applying through OUAC. And that was literally it. They just look at your grades. There's no supplementary application, but here are the supplementary applications I did do for other schools. So I did do the CASPER for the McMaster application, and it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's not bad. I definitely think that actually being in nursing now, I would be able to answer the questions so much better. So just take some practice tests if you can. Each year, my Ryerson nursing tuition is around $7,000 to $7,500 a year. It's not that bad, honestly, and you don't spend too much money on the extra things like first aid and police checks, but textbooks are a lot. Generally, the workload for nursing is pretty heavy. First year, it's mainly you learning your learning style. Although you'll be having a lot of courses number-wise, the content is pretty easy. Most Ontario nursing programs do not require you to take the CASPER. I think the only universities/colleges that require you to are MAC, Conestoga, and second entry-level York programs. For all the programs of nursing that I applied to, I applied on OUAC. The only one I applied through with the colleges was the MAC and Mohawk College Collaborative Program, but only for the Mohawk program. The diversity at Ryerson itself is really big and it's in the heart of the city, but if you're talking about nursing as a program, it's a little less diverse. 80% is girls, and it's mainly Asians as well. I always kind of knew I wanted to work with people, and in the healthcare sector, I did co-op in grade 11 and really got to see all the medical positions I could possibly go into, but nursing just seemed the most right for me. I definitely think that nursing is something that you need to love and have a passion for, or else you will hate it and burn out, and you also won't provide the best care for your patients, which is not what we want. Here are some advices that I can provide. Ryerson is taking the same steps that a lot of other schools are taking, but for nursing placements, instead of having placements both for the fall and winter this year, we're only having it for 6 weeks. For first year, you're actually placed in a long-term care facility. So those are people who are there for long-term and usually live in the facility. And in second year, that's when you're placed in hospitals and in acute care settings. I can't comment and say that someone who gets a 70 average won't get into nursing. Remember, you're not defined by your grades, but I think a good goal to have is to get 80 and above to get into any nursing program. I'm not in a RPN program. I'm in a program for a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, so at the end of my 4 years, I will be an RN. It's a collaborative program just because they want more students, and I'm just in a different building for my first 2 years. The Ryerson nursing program and many other nursing programs just look at your grades, and there's no supplementary application, so volunteering will not increase your chances of getting in. But if you wanted to think long term, volunteering could help with any other application. You could definitely do a graduate program after you do your bachelor's. It's definitely not necessary and not everyone does it, but here are some programs I'm considering, and an NP is an amazing profession, so it all depends on what you want. I definitely think nursing can be difficult, but it is manageable. I just want you guys to know that this is a profession and you're learning all of these things to work with patients and be in hospitals and clinics, so you do need to be competent and learn everything. Prerequisites usually have a minimum requirement. For chemistry, it was 70% when I applied. So if you do not have that minimum requirement, you will not be able to attend the program. However, you can email someone like the head of the program and ask if you can do summer school. Collab students are allowed to go to the SLC and vice versa. I have both Ryerson and George Brown numbers. I'm just not allowed to use the Ryerson gym because I don't have a 1 card yet, but I'll be getting one in 3rd year. So here are the courses I'm taking this year, and my favorite course last year was nursing practice because we got to do all the labs and it was super fun and very hands-on. So a lot of people ask me what my grade 12 average was. My top 6 was around an 87 to an 88%, but I don't really remember because it doesn't really matter now, but that's the ballpark. You could definitely get a Bachelor's of Science in degree first and then do nursing. You could apply to a 2-year accelerated nursing program that needs an undergraduate degree before you go into it, or if you switch midway through, some of your prerequisites might count. If you live in Ontario, all your applications will either be on OUAC or OCAS, which is the university or college admission sites, but if you don't live in Ontario, you will have your own individual sites to do that. MAC nursing is really a hit or miss with applicants. I think it's very dependent on the CASPER, so you really have to practice and do well on your CASPER in order to get in. Even if you have the highest average, if your CASPER is not good, you won't make it to the program. I'm actually not sure when the supplementary application comes out. I think you should check their website, but I do remember that I worked on it for a solid month, always editing and stuff, and I think I handed it in March. U of T does not have an undergrad nursing program. It does have an accelerated program for nursing, but you have to have an undergraduate before you can do that program. The CASPER is really based on ethics and patient-centered care, so I would recommend you reading some nursing articles on ethics and doing some practice videos off of YouTube. You can even buy practice packages, but you don't have to waste your money if you don't want to. Thanks for tuning in today, guys, and asking me all your questions. If I didn't answer your question or you have more questions, feel free to message me on my study Instagram account, and feel free to go follow me there for any nursing or dentistry infographics or StudyGram inspiration. Bye, guys. Good luck.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine. I am a 4th year co-op student at Ryerson University at the Ted Rogers School of Management. I am in the Business Management program and I am majoring in Global Management. I'll be doing today's takeover, so leave me any questions. Calculus is a preferred course, however it's not the only course you can take. I didn't take calculus, I only took advanced functions as my math in grade 12, and I was still able to get it. My average was 88% when I applied, and I maintained that the best I could throughout the rest of the semester, but I believe the admission requirements is between 78 to 87%. I don't remember the exact names of courses I took. It was 4 years ago, but I do remember taking a lot of easier business courses to help maintain my average. So these are the universities that I applied to. I chose Ryerson because of its location. I wanted to stay close to home and save money, and I liked the idea of being in the core of downtown Toronto. So out of the 7 majors that business management offers, global management is definitely more broad. I kind of compare it to international business. I've taken courses in marketing, law, finance, economics, but global management definitely is more focused on the operational side, so the back end of things, supply chain management, even project management as well. After completing the business management program, you don't get a BM degree, you get a Bachelor of Commerce. And with the Bachelor of Commerce, there are endless possibilities, endless careers that you could go into. The Ted Rogers School of Management has the Ted Rogers Co-op program, and when you apply depends on what program you're in. If you're in business management, like me, I applied at the end of my 2nd year. Once you're accepted into the Ted Rogers Co-op program, the Business Career Hub will take good care of you. They help with mock interviews, they edit your resume and cover letter, they provide skill workshops and boot camps as well. There is paid co-op. All the co-op placements are paid. The only thing that varies, of course, is the amount that you're paid, depending on the role, your responsibilities, and of course the company. I don't really think there is a typical day for a business management student because there are 7 majors to choose from. We're all in different majors, but in your first year in the business management program, there are generic courses that we all have to take. Again, I think the workload will vary depending on your major, but in first year, the workload is a little bit heavy. There is an adjustment to it because the program is trying to give everyone a basic understanding of business. So you'll take HR courses, you'll take economics. The application process was fairly easy. I applied through OUAC, and for business management, there wasn't any supplementary applications or forms that I had to fill out. The co-op experience in the business management program has been so great so far. It's very positive. I feel well prepared to be able to apply to these jobs and to excel in my positions and my roles. There is actually a student group at Ryerson called the Ryerson University Co-op Students Association. I am a part of that group, so a little plug, but what we aim to do is to create a community for co-op students. We'll host social events as well as provide networking opportunities. The life of a BCom student would vary depending on what university you attend, but I'm guessing it will include a lot of studying, case competitions, definitely recommend doing those, and a lot of networking opportunities. I believe university applications close the end of January, so I would definitely apply as soon as possible. I believe I applied sometime during the fall semester. I think it was in November or December, so it's important to get your applications early in. Co-op has been amazing so far. It really provides an insight into the various positions and roles that I could pursue after I graduate, but I'm currently on my 2nd co-op work term at the Boston Consulting Group. One of the reasons why I chose Ryerson was because it's in the heart of Toronto. It's close to everything. But this could also be a bad thing because I did spend a lot of money on food and shopping between my classes at the Ames Center. Also, because Ryerson is downtown, that means a lot of the buildings are a little bit more accessible. I remember having an economics class in the Cineplex Theater at 10 Dundas, but safety could be an issue. I applied to the Business Economics and Commerce program at York, and I believe that's separate from Schulich. I'm glad you asked this question because Ted Rogers School of Management has 3 programs. The first one is Business Management, which is the program that I'm in. The second one is Business Technology Management, and the third one is Accounting and Finance. I can only speak about the co-op for the Business Management program major. So 7 different majors, the sequence of co-op, and then your academic term varies depending on the major. The business management program will definitely help you get into HR, especially if you select human resource management as your major. I'm not too sure about public administration, but again, you're getting a Bachelor of Commerce, so just be sure to utilize the skills you learned.